Segment 63, which is the Majestic Gala Wall. Join these party sisters for tips, tricks to creating a sensational star point wall with Alex and Ellie Ventura.
Hey, hey, hey.
So, please, can you give them a very warm Q Corner welcome?
Yes, watch out,
to...
careful. Oh, I thought it was an airplane. It's okay.
No plane.
Okay.
Canada. Right. Give a huge, warm Q Corner welcome to the girls, Alex and Ellie Ventura. Here they are.
Hi. Welcome to Q Corner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We just wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much to both of you for organizing
You're only
this.
saying that because you know we have the power to switch you off. We understand.
Yes, it's true.
Is that what you told us?
I know you try to catch up for us, but
Yeah.
We rehearsed this, guys.
Well,
pay the dollars.
We were playing catch-up.
yes. Right, we'll leave you two lovely ladies to get on, enjoy, have fun, and we'll see you at the other side.
Guys, have fun with these two, okay? Learn lots
All right.
and be nice.
Hello, everyone.
Hi there.
Hi. I'm Ellie.
I'm Alex, and we're CPAs from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Yes. And so first of all, we just wanted to thank everyone for watching. Thank you all for staying home and staying safe. And to our entire balloon family for working tirelessly for putting it all to see. I'm also tired for putting it all together. And a
Too
special
much Q Corner watch.
too much cute. Well, yes, we were trying. We have bags under our bags. We were we were trying to stay up and watch as much as we can. Obviously, we had to take some time prepping here, but yes. So thank you so much for putting it all together, Pioneer, and a special thanks to the frontline workers as well. Sincerely, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for everything that you do. For those of you who don't know us, we are sisters who own Pacha Balloon Creations. We're sisters. Sorry. It's true. And we began 20 years ago while still in school. We used to rent lawn signs. You know, these stork announcements that you would put on the lawn and you attach balloons to them, or for anniversary, champagne bottles, etc., etc. So that's how we started adding balloons to our lawn signs.
Then we took a balloon basics class with
Yes.
Karen from SKS,
Yes.
and we fell absolutely in love with this industry. A few years after that, and we went to our first ever balloon convention in 2004, and that was amazing. Wow.
Yes. Highly encourage you all to attend balloon conventions.
WBC, next one.
Yeah.
Everybody be there.
Yeah, of course. And obviously, thank you again for the virtual balloon convention for attending this one. So at the convention, we actually, one of the designs that impressed us the most at the convention was the huge star point walls. They were just flanking from wall to
Bring the entire.
Hi guys, we've just got a little bit of a problem with their signal. We're just going to restart that for them, and then we'll get them back on in 1 minute.
Guys, thank you very much for your patience and understanding. We had a little bit of a Wi-Fi connection problem from Canada, but then again, we have found out that Canada's just recently had Wi-Fi installed in the area anyway. So what we've done is we've managed to get it set back up. We've dragged in a direct line, and they are here for your enjoyment, okay? So we'll hand you back over to the wonderful sisters, Alex and Ellie. Please enjoy.
We're back, guys. Sorry, Derek. We promised you we wouldn't do that, but we broke the internet.
We broke the internet. It happened. Sorry. So as I was saying, at the balloon convention, the first balloon convention that we attended, one of the items that impressed us the most was the star point walls that we saw, and it was literally from wall to wall all around the banquet hall. And it was just that wow factor when you walked in the room and there were star point walls. And this is why we chose star point walls as our topic for our class. Okay, so for this class, you can download, I'm just going to come a little bit closer to show you this. So this was the handout. We are under session 63. And so that's the handout that you see under our class notes. I believe you can download the PDF version. So just to reiterate, for this class, the focus is going to be on the techniques used to make the star point walls, but obviously it can be applied to columns, arches, ceiling decor, centerpieces, buffet pieces, etc., etc. So obviously we are sculptures, yes, of course. So we are just sort of giving you the basic techniques to jump off of, okay? And so on this handout, you will find the recipe for the amount of rounds and star points that we combined here in the photo, as well as an estimate of the bags of balloons you would require to create this. This is a large scale design, very, very large scale. We won't be demonstrating a technique this large. It's going to be on a smaller scale, just for ease of following along at home. If by chance you want to follow along, we're also going to be using a hand pump rather than an air inflator. And for space restrictions, because we didn't want to be like really, really far from the camera. So we're concentrating on portions of the walls and the techniques, just so you know. Okay, so we're going to begin with just a few photos to get us started. Dom and Keith, we're going to call up our first image, please. Thank you very much. So that is Pacha Balloon Creations, our company. You can find us on social media at Balloons by Pacha. On Instagram, sorry. And we're not very active on Facebook, so I'm just going to suggest if you want to contact us, Instagram is the place to go. We may also post some little tidbits from the class afterwards on our Instagram. So again, it's at Balloons by Pacha. And on to the next photo, please.
Thank you, Edward, for writing
Oh,
that.
yes, thank you. I just saw that. So I'm also going to be just checking in on the chat as we go along. So, okay, so this is the first image of a star point combined with rounds, similar to the one in the handout.
Again, this is design-wise only. So these are the techniques to create this design. Again, the size will not be this size.
Correct. And then also keeping in mind combining the walls with other items such as organics. Very, 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 very popular these days, of course. So we just incorporated that there as an idea.
Next one.
Next photo, please. I don't know if there's a delay, but let's see. Okay, there we go. So that's an example to show you how the star point walls can just make a plain, simple backdrop of a wall, a plain wall, pop. One of the patterns that we are creating today is this simple one. And for the next photo, on to the next one. Yeah, okay. So that's just to further exemplify the backdrops and the wow factor within a party setting. This is a Studio 54 disco theme. So you can also keep in mind themes when building your wall. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, branding and customization. This is very important also, especially when dealing with corporate clients, for instance, or if you could imagine like monograms for weddings, etc., etc. So birthdays, yes. So print work. Okay. And on to the next picture, please. So for this photo, we're just showing you the different patterns that you can use when creating star point walls. So think of the negative and positive space as an area to play with when you're dealing with, so in this case, it's the star points combined with the tapers. So the way they fit together, I like to think of them as building blocks or Lego pieces. And you can have a lot of fun with creating different patterns with star point walls. Okay, and next photo, please. So, okay, so again, with holidays or seasonal items, you can easily add any embellishments to your walls, create extra embellishments. In this case, there's columns to flank it, and those ones actually lit up. And on to the next photo, please. So a backdrop for a sweet table. Again, this one, we've been teaching for Qualitex for about 5 years now. Yeah, 5 years. And this is taken from one of our classes years ago. And then for the next photo, please. Okay. So we just wanted to end on this one. We are such a creative industry. We can build anything we can dream. On that note, let's start building. Yay! All right, so I'm going to take over a little bit. Yes. So the star points are exclusively created by Qualitex. They are an incredible design, and there are so many things that can be done with them. They come in 2 sizes. This is the 20-inch. And this is the other size, which is the 40-inch that I'm too short to hold up properly, maybe. I'm gonna have to help her there. Can you see that? Now, some of those images are taken from a while back. So now, currently available, the colors for these are rose gold,
Show you here.
silver, and gold. So in your Qualitex catalog, you will find all of these sizes. So 40-inch, 20-inch, and then the sizes for the tapers and also the colors. Okay. So, who's ready for the first technique? Thumbs up. All right, we're going to begin with simply taping the star points together. Yes, super, super, super simple and effective. And we will show you what we're going to end up with for the rows. Are designs like this. So there's going to be tape on either side just to hold it in place and make it secure. Hold on to that guy. So now we are going to begin with making the next row that's going to complete this design technique. We have on a flat surface, laying out your star point. We're going to line it up as evenly as we can. This will just help as a guide. So if you're working on a table, it's ideal just to have a line to follow. Now, you're placing the next one. I hope everybody can see this. I'm going to line it up and then I'll try and push it, move it forward to the camera. The valve ends are going to be lined up to one another so that they sit evenly. So, can you all see that? Nope. Over here? Yes. Is that good? Yes. Okay. I think there is better. So we're lining up the valves, keeping in mind to keep everything straight for the pattern. I can feel the tip of the other star point underneath. So that gives me a guide as to where I want to place the star points to line it up with the next one. And that'll give us a guide for measurement. Now, using Click Click's wonderful stretchy tape, because this is just absolutely incredible with the Mylars. I'm going to take a piece off. May have to clean up after you a little bit over here. That's okay. You're used to it. Okay. So there's 2 together at the moment. For this particular wall, we're going to have rows of 3. So now we need another one. So we're going to move this guy over just because I'm running out of table space. Yep. Lay down our next one. Now, as I'm taping them, what I'm doing is keeping the valve side up,
because that's what we're going to use to inflate the star point after. So barcode side up,
Very important.
very important. That's always the back
Mhm.
of the wall.
Little bit of detail, but the extra detail makes a difference. Always face the barcodes facing the wall, not the front.
Next, piece of tape. Tape it down. Now we have where am I here?
There we go.
Okay, maybe. Now we have basically a garland of 3 star points taped together. For the next row, to make sure that your measurements are the same, this becomes your template now. So we put the next star point up on top. Feel free to interrupt us if you have any questions as we go along here.
Just double check.
So I'm literally just shadowing it over the top of the next one, of the one underneath, sorry.
Is that just regular tape they're asking? So
This
no.
one is the click stretchy tape that
Yes.
we're using on this side.
Yes.
And this is for the back side only. So the reason we're doing it on the back side is because it is very strong, so it gives it that wonderful hold that you need for the wall. At the same time, the back side isn't going to be showing. So the front, we will be using a transparent tape instead.
Mhm.
So now I'm going to be taking another piece of tape. Again, this is the stretchy tape from Click Click. Making sure that my star points are all lined up one on top of another. And another piece of tape down. Now I'm going to move this guy over. That'll be the last one. If any of you know us well enough, Ellie's the tech one. If I was doing this, we would definitely be breaking the internet.
She might shut it
Just
off
saying.
again, so I'll be answering. No worries.
So the next one now, on top. All right. So for the sake of this design, we're going with just 3 rows of 3. So we're going to have a total of 9 20-inch star points. Again, we're only using the 20-inch size for space sake so that hopefully you guys can see everything. So what we'll be doing now is inflating one of the rows of 3. Take our hand pump. I always like to start from the top just because then the pressure goes that way. So I'm inflating the first star point.
Oh, we have a question. Sorry. About 3 centimeters of that tape is okay.
Sure. Yep, it's very strong. So as long as you have a nice attachment between the one on top and the one underneath, you're good.
Yes.
Next.
Just enough to keep it secure.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So now we have a row of 3. Anybody see what's wrong with it? If we were using it in a wall?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have Ellie flip it over now.
Yep. So we're gonna flip it over. And now you want to keep the front secure. So now that we created the measurements that we did, when Alex was, she was just feeling for the star points, the ends of them. The good thing about that is they're measured properly for now the overlap on the opposite side, which is perfect. So if we just hold that down. Now you could either use, I got this. Yeah, thank you. So we have just, this is just a packing tape. This is just scotch tape, packing tape, for the front. Or you can use
Because
just
this is
regular
the
scotch
front,
tape as well.
just
Yeah.
regular scotch tape is nicer because it's not as much of a thick
Sure.
cover.
So we can do that now. And Again, make sure it's transparent, very clear. Obviously, we don't want that fogginess.
Yeah, that frosted.
I said at the same time. That frosted tape look on the front. You definitely want it clear because you don't want it to show. So we'll just make sure it's nice and secure on that side. So again, just holding it in place, hold it down. You could either tape it this way or this way, whatever you're more comfortable with. And that's another thing. We're showing all these techniques, but we're showing them to give you all options. Any one, there's one, not one is better than the other, I would say. I think it's more of a comfort level. There's Many
ones
ways
we
to do something.
prefer,
Yep.
but there's all different reasons. So there's positives and negatives.
Okay. So now we flip it over. And we're gonna have to tape. No, this one's done. Oh, sorry. That's right. So now we flip it over. And I just wanted to show, okay, that
They're locked on both sides?
Yeah. So if you see how floppy it was before,
Now they're locked.
we have the angle, and they're both connected.
I'll start doing this one.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we'll do the next one.
I'm just gonna check in on everybody again.
You're all so quiet.
Could you, oh, hang on. So, could you use double sticky tape, or will it not hold as long?
Yes, you definitely can. I would say on a smaller wall, it would be more secure because you don't need as much support. Which is, as we move on with the techniques, some are more stable than others, I feel. So I would say for this simple purpose of a wall this size, yes.
I hope that answers your question. Okay. Shortly. We had a question about the rose gold. We're getting to that one shortly.
Okay.
Can't you use double-sided glue dots to attach the front side?
Yes, you definitely could. So it could be basically any adhesive. Again, it's a matter of size. With the taping method, I suggest it only for smaller sizes. You're making a big wall. You want everything very secure, so you may prefer the other techniques we use
like
later
the
on,
packing tape.
or even the
Me
other
for the front.
options.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 3 rows.
Okay. Here we go.
Hopefully, we're gonna fit here in screen. All right.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, with this technique, we are using only.
The valve side down.
Yep. Okay. We are using only the taping method.
Okay, so we're keeping the valves on the same end of the row.
Okay.
As
So
you
we're on
can
the
see.
front side right now. You can start the front or the back, as long as each row is the same way. So all the backs should be one way. Okay. You want to hold this?
Yep. So we're gonna go along. Attach
For
them
time's
together.
sake, we are just going to go through this part really quickly.
Yes.
So basically, we're doing top and bottom.
Yes. So when you're overlapping, you don't want just the ends to be taped because then it's just going to be very floppy and not sturdy. If you could see where the actual air is in the start point, overlap those. It's stronger. And so we're going to overlap them. Again, this one. Go ahead. Reach. Stretch your arms. Oh, maybe go, gadget arms.
I'm going to bend the whole thing.
There we go.
All right, now we'll move it over
Bottom.
into this side.
Yep. Go ahead.
So we're keeping this the same way as well. So because we started with this side on top of this start point, now we're going to start with this one on top of this start point.
Consistency.
It's little things in the design, but in the end, we feel like it makes for a finished product.
Yes. Little details.
Right? hand, you got this hand again now.
I need the bottom.
Yep. All right. So we know a lot of the classes have been talking about knot lengths. Okay. Just to support this up while we demonstrate further, we have the baby versions.
Yes. Babies. Hang on, I'll show you a.
So this is an IKEA product as well. This is the Homo lamp. Basically a smaller version of the knot lamp.
Yes.
They're ideal for sweet tables and centerpieces. But for now, we're just going to use it to hold up our displays for you.
Correct. So again, this is a smaller design. We can use the knot lamps, for instance, in the handout. The knot lamps, I believe we used, just assuming you're all familiar, that these come apart in pieces for ease of transportation as well. So that's why we like using them for walls. So there we go. So you can see 2 parts. So when we were using the knot lamp in the handout, I believe it was seven of these parts on one base.
So what we're doing on the back over here, actually, maybe
Turn it
we'll
around.
turn it around.
Do one. Go ahead, and
Yep.
I'll turn it around. It's easier that way. Yep. So we're just lining up the bottom. So there's a lot of extra at the bottom of the valve. You want to kind of line up the bottom where the air basically begins on your start point. And we're holding the start point very flat against the pole. And then that's where we tape it up. So let's
We
flip
could
this
use the
over.
chunk of packing tape on the back of this. It's
Yeah.
more secure.
Yep.
So you can you demonstrate that one.
Well, it's on your side now, so hang on.
All right. I'll demonstrate this one. All right. Okay. We have to.
There we go.
Just even it out.
You're gonna have to tape it backwards. And we're gonna have to do this backwards. So hopefully we can
This
do
is
it.
fun.
So the way we're holding it, if you can see here,
Can I get scissors?
very, 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 yes.
Thanks.
Very, very flat against the pole. You don't want to tilt it or your whole wall is just gonna go very wonky.
You put this. You're an idiot.
So we don't want, can you hold this?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't. Peeking my head through. Hello. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. The next one. So I'll hold this one. And again, I'm holding it straight. We don't want to bend it out of place. So when we are building the large walls, we won't do it this way. We would most likely lie it on the ground and rest the pole on top and make sure that someone is securing the start point so that it's flat with the pole. So we would lie it on the floor and then lift it up for the big reveal.
All right.
All right.
We have design number 1.
So simple. Design number 1, easy
So-
concept.
What can we do with this?
Okay. So, actually, we need, there we go. Straighten it out. Okay. So now we're kind of squished on this table. So we're sort of buckling it a little bit, but normally we'd be stretched out a little bit more. So how about a photo wall? Photo op area. That's
For your
kind of
guests.
cute for your guests. And
Now, if you wanted to fill in these spaces, we can put. So with the 20-inch star point, the 18-inch round mylar fits exactly perfectly in the area it's supposed to go. Now, if you were to be using the 18 inches, I'm probably out of camera right now, but maybe you can see my hands.
see, nope.
You good?
You can see it.
Okay.
Yep.
So
you can see it.
we would be using, if we're doing the taping method, a piece of tape to tape this back around so that it stays in there. and then use a piece of tape over here as well. That's if you're doing tape only.
Yes. Again, same thing. With any of the embellishments that you're adding, make sure the barcode is facing the back. You can always fill in with hearts. All you twisters out there, super talented twisters, imagine like a rose in the corner here as extra embellishments.
Even if you left this open and had twisted items.
I'm sensing a Beauty and the Beast theme here. That's what I'm feeling with these colors.
Now for something a little extra fancy, if you did want to put color and make it a little bit more special,
Yes.
how about a super shiny rose gold? You know? So this would be,
Y'all hold it here.
yep. So this could be one of the colors added. So you can do this technique with any of the, actually maybe put it in this one so that we can.
Sure. You talk here.
I'll talk through this.
Okay.
So, so this adds a really beautiful glossy shine to any of the latex. So whether it was a solid color, pearlized like this rose gold one, it just adds a beautiful finish, just a little extra touch.
But how did you do it?
I will show you. So just sort of off topic from the star points, but we just to show you an accent technique that you can use. And it's a beautiful technique even for organics, for extra additions onto a column.
Okay.
So we have.
And just to show
I
you
lost
color-wise how
as I
how
get ready.
amazing it looks with the rose gold together. So well together.
All right.
Matches very nicely.
So the click slide inside. Sorry, say that 10 times fast. We're going to use right now, just because we're using a hand pump. So, thumbs up who uses aqua bubbles. Anyone?
Oh, I'm not there yet.
Anyone? All right. Well, I hope you do. These are beautiful. With this, we're going to use a 16-inch latex balloon. And we are going to basically use a double stuffing technique, but now this is with an aqua bubble in a latex. So double stuffing is putting one balloon inside another that normally would change the color of the balloon to get a different shade, for those of you who aren't familiar. For this, we're just using it to get that beautiful shine onto the latex. So I'm just using a balloon straw just to, just to put the 16-inch inside the aqua bubble. So the aqua bubble's inside. I have the neck out. This, those of you who aren't familiar with the aqua bubble, is just a protective coating because the aqua bubble is sticky. This will come off when we inflate it. So now you inflate the 16-inch only. You want there to not be as little air as possible from the latex to the aqua bubble. So start inflating. Now if you see that coating is coming off already, you need to peel that back. And the same way it's the 18-inch size for the Mylar round to put in that particular design. With this one, you can discard this. You use 12.5 inches, which fits within that space. So now what I'm doing is taking the 16-inch and tying it off as if to ignore the aqua bubble altogether. Oh, should I show them?
And it depends if we have time.
Okay, so we tied that off. So now if you were tying this off into the design that we just did with the star point, you'd have an extra 260 over here just to tie it into one of the points of the start points for security. All right. Cue. So that's the taping. Next up.
Okay. Next technique. So, hold this out.
For those of you who watched Topay's class, this is what he used to put his beautiful cross together. So we're going to show you the tying method. We're keeping the pattern squared off with this one. So we're doing 4 rows of 3 because we're just going to turn this one into a mini little column for you, just as, say, a buffet option.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have
Sounds good.
3 of the 3 rows that we need. We're going to make the 3rd one now. So Ellie's going to inflate this. Yep.
We just keep it off the side.
Yeah. I think that's better.
All right. I'll start inflating.
I'll do another one.
Yep.
And then you can start.
Yep. Okay, so also keep in mind when inflating these, you also have to consider hot and cold in the room, the temperature in the room.
Mylars are very sensitive to that.
Yes, much more sensitive than latex, of course. So keep that in mind. If you're gonna, if it's there we go. So if I inflate it too much, okay, and then I go, well, let's not do that because I'm gonna pop it. And you know, if I'm delivering this to a very, very, very hot location, a warmer room, it obviously it will expand and it will pop. So we don't want to do that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, go ahead. All right, start you off.
So just the tying method. Again, with this, we're doing the same thing. So we're going to keep the barcodes on the back. We are going to keep the valve sides apart from one another. You don't want to put tension on this. It just risks causing it to deflate and ruining the balloon. So the less you can work with that, the better. So leave that alone. Don't tie 2 valves together.
So now you can really, if you notice, when she's tying, we're not tying just the little ends together. You can really, really get some grip on it and tie it further in. Great. And then keeping them in order of the way she lined them up. So we've got valve, valve, valve. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I don't know. Hang on, I'm just gonna since they can be purchased from your Qualitex distributor. So I think it was covered. The answer was there. Yes, these are exclusive to Qualitex. This Star Point design.
All right. So we have the last row that's going to make our home.
Yes.
That home.
This.
Now again, this design can be used as just a small wall.
So
this
that's
way.
Oh, this backwards. We have the barcode.
There we go.
Okay.
Just a small wall this way.
Yep.
But just for this demonstration, for this technique, we're going to be making a miniature column.
Yes. Oh, but also imagine how pliable they are as an arch.
Create
Okay.
a tunnel effect.
Imagine if
Entrance.
you have a wall going this way, a wall going this way, a wall going this way. It's like a complete tunnel, a 3D balloon. 3D.
And because it's almost like a corrugated sheet of paper, you can actually form the stems, so your base plate and pole, in such a way that it actually makes a circular backdrop as opposed to something just flat.
Yeah, shapes.
All right. So now, I'll put those 260s here. Yep. So, with this technique, it would be too difficult to tie the leftover parts of the knots together. So for stability for this one, we are going to have a 260. Now we're using rose gold, chrome rose gold. We like to match the 260s with whatever star point we're using. That way, if something does show, at least it blends a little bit better. Imagine if you had a piece of orange 260 hanging out of here, may not be a good idea. So I'm just adding a little slit to the tip of this just to let all the air out. To make smaller pieces of this so that you don't have to use as many 260s, I'm cutting it in half once, folding it over, and then half again. And that's really all you need because this stretches so much. So now, am I the right way here? The barcodes are here. Yep. Okay, all right. You got your barcode? Yep. Okay. So, these ends I'm going to tie because we can keep that consistent. This next piece, I'm going to use the 260. Again, 260 in the next section. And then tying off the top. All right, perfect. Now we're going to close it off. So now you notice. Sorry. We interrupt each other. I thought you were about to speak. Go ahead. So I'm going to tie. Is that okay with you? Sure, go ahead. All right, thanks. Now, sister. Did I just throw that on myself? I did. And I have to clean up after you now. So I'm closing off the other side. Yeah. Okay, you can do that one. You're allowed. Thank you. I'll let you. Oh, thank you so much. All right. So I like to knot it a few times to keep it secure. And the end. Oh, we didn't finish the end. You did your end. I was just checking to see if you got yours done. Right. Just making sure. Keeping an eye on you. Okay, so we can just tuck in these little necks. Yes. You definitely can't cut them off because you may cut the balloon. Yes. You can also take them down if you want to really make sure it's secure inside. All right. We can let this guy out. Okay. So for this design, again, you could add embellishments to it, organics on the side or whatnot. This is a small one, so let's imagine this is more like a buffet piece. Oh, let's just cut these in. So we had used the hole and base plate idea earlier, but for this, because it's smaller and tabletop, let's say you're making a cross the same way Truquet did, but his was quite large, so or even a letter of some kind, anything a little more on a smaller scale. We can use weights. Again, we're matching the color. And literally just within the corner, if you have to turn it this way. Yep. Yeah. So just in the corner, but on the back side, because we don't want it close to the front where you might be able to see it. So just kind of tuck it in the corner there. And we would tape it in place. Again, whichever, just gives a little extra stability to it. Just a little bit of extra reaching. Okay. Here. And tape that in. Get it on the side. There we go.
don't have a weight that matches the color. What do? Panic? Yeah. What do?
You can actually take a latex color, or just a regular 11-inch latex balloon that matches, and you're gonna have that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And cover the weight. Doesn't show.
So a quick and easy way just to get a quick matching weight if you don't have it. We like to match the colors, especially because if you have this negative space showing, it might show through. So just to keep it camouflaged, keep everything consistent. And again, these can be shaped in anything. This is just a small column. You can make letters, right? Okay. Let's move this guy out of the way.
So, what if you didn't want a vertical design then?
Well, I have a solution for you.
Do you?
This is not rehearsed at all.
Here we go.
Wow. So,
Oh, it's not even.
yeah, okay. Oh, can you see it? Okay. So in this case, we are also adding the vinyls. I know a lot of you have Cricut or Silhouette machines, and we are incorporating the word hope because we feel like we all have hope right now that this pandemic will be over soon and we will all get back to what we love doing, what we're passionate about. So thank you again for staying home and watching. And just to show you these little embellishments here.
We're strong believers that adding twisted items to decor pieces just enhances it that much more because it's that extra
Yes.
wow factor
Yes.
that clients love.
Yeah, the combination of twisted techniques and decor pieces, it complements one another so well. So if you can see this little, this cute little flower here. So let's say I'm adding it. Oh, let's move over. Okay, a little more. Do a little more. Okay, good. Okay. So if we're adding this little flower in, so two boys came to Canada and taught us
Once
a
upon a
class.
time.
Once upon a time. So Dom and Keith, this is the golden nugget that we got from your class. So how to attach. You don't want to just tie it in, and you can knot it and whatnot. But here's a quick technique that we learned from them. So when you wrap it around the balloon, if you're attaching something, what you want to do is create a figure 8.
Are we doing this right, boys?
Create a figure 8 around the item that you are firmly attaching, and as long as you have that figure 8 gesture, it is not going anywhere. It's definitely staying in place, and it saves you from knotting it in. Yeah, so
Thanks, boys, for
thank
that one.
you. Great. Okay. Oh.
So that was tying them together. Next, if you're wondering, we have all our kits down here. So
Yeah.
you can hop them up and down.
We have all our bins lined up.
So next, what we're gonna do for our next design is another tying technique, just to make it a little bit more secure. So if you can see, actually, Elle, if you can get me that column back again.
Sure.
Please. Thank you. So with the tying technique, it is very secure. It's awesome to work with. It's quick and easy. The only thing is, depending on who's doing it, so if you have a team of a number of people working at it, everybody may tie their sections differently. So to be able to actually put this in an even order may be a little bit more difficult than the next technique that we're going to show you. Okay. So, oh, that's what I meant. Sorry, I needed this for a reason. Because this can be off, so it would actually make the column off tilter if it was pulling in one direction more than the other.
Right. So that's why the even spacing is important.
All right. So for the next one, we have the beads.
Yep. Sure.
All right. There you go. So for this technique, we are going to place beads in the points of each of the star points. This is going to give us a tying point. So now we're going to once again cut the tip of the 260 and we make 4 pieces out of it.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Let's see, gold. Sorry. Oh.
Okay, go on. Oh,
So,
let me show you.
we're using
Yes.
plastic
Come up
BB
closer.
pellets, but you can
Yes.
find beads perhaps. They're
They
6
just look like that.
millimeters just because it's a nice size, so it's not too big in making the tying point, and it's not going to disrupt the design.
Yes. But any bead this size would work as well.
Right.
So,
Yep.
6 millimeters is about right.
So I do need those beads, no?
Yep.
Whoops!
Oh, you grabbed it already.
No. They're gonna roll around all over the table.
No, I was gonna put them in here.
Oh, well,
Relax.
that's smart.
Isn't it? Oh, see that?
Thank you.
At least one of us is. Thank you.
All right. So out of you comes some air into the star point. This is just to open up the valve and to open up the star point, just to make it easier to get the pellets inside the star point.
Yes.
So now we're gonna put in. I'm gonna try this.
Just get a little closer.
Yeah.
We should have got you a stool.
What? You think I'm not tall enough for this? Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this without dropping it, but you see the valve open. I'm going to place the bead. Ignore the fact that I need a manicure right now.
Well, we've been washing our hands a lot, so ignore how dry our skin is.
So now we're going to push the bead up into the valve. All right?
Oh.
Yep.
What kind of bead is that? Are those foam beads?
No, these
So-
are plastic.
Yeah, they're plastic. They're actually from, I guess, a BB gun, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the plastic gives a little bit of weight to it, which makes it easier to manipulate it through the star point.
Yeah.
So we have
It says airsoft BBs.
this is still in the valve right now, so I'm still pushing it all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have to feel for it at the bottom here. So I have it right to the tip. Want to show them that?
Sure. All right. Okay. And you see that it's right at the end where you can't go any further. So that's where the air goes in. Okay. Okay. Just to make sure.
Okay. So while I'm keeping it at the end, I'm taking this bit of 260 and I'm literally just knotting it behind the bead so that the 260 is stopping it and catching it locked in that tip.
So the bead is caught in the corner, essentially.
All right. Now we're going to do the same with the other 2 sides. So we're putting it in. Pushing it through the valve again. And then we roll it down on an angle so that we get it into the side. Any questions there?
No. Just answering.
Now, we like to tie it twice, just in case. Because when you're building the wall afterwards, you want these pieces to be really nice and secure. You don't want them to come apart. Now, the third piece. Okay.
to the bottom. One question: can the foil be reused if taped? So it's a little side.
Yes, it can. So the reason it can be reused is that where we're taping it, the Scotch tape isn't really going to interfere with the integrity of the balloon itself. And where we taped the stretchy tape on the back is actually so far underneath the valve and the hole that it can be cut right here. So if you picture the other one underneath it, you can cut it right here and then still dismantle it to reuse them. Right? And once they're inflated, they last a really long time. So yes, you can definitely take them apart and reuse them for something else. Okay? So here's one complete beaded star point. So now, when you inflate it, you have the complete star point with rigging points. So now you don't need the extra 260s either because they're already there for you. Next, so say you didn't have 260.
What if you don't have the bead?
That's
what
what I
do you
meant to
do?
say.
What if you
What if
don't
you
have
didn't
the
have the
beads?
So, what you can do is lose everything you had. Where's that balloon straw going at?
Oh, right there.
Oh, okay. All right. So, to replace the beads, if you really can't find them, this is a little bit more tricky to do just because the weight of the bead isn't there.
Yes. So the reason why the plastic bead is so great is because it's just something firm that you can, once you have it in the corner, it's easy to capture it in each end. Well, obviously not that end, but in these ends.
So what I'm going to do now is just make the knots like a raising twist. So I'm just tying off the 260 in a couple of knots. Okay. Cutting it off. Now, same technique as with the bead. So we're going to be...
Sorry, girls, can you show us closer the tie points?
Oh, sure. On this one?
I believe. Is that what they're... Show us the tie points. Very...
The one already done? Is that what we're asking for?
I think so. Here,
Is that
I'll
better?
go. Here. So basically what we have here, this is where there's no air. Then there is, the bead is stuck in the corner. And underneath is where the 260 has been tied under the bead. I hope you could see that. Oh, right there. Yeah. So the bead is just captured. It's locked in the corner. And yes, it is on the 3 star points. Obviously not this one because that's the valve itself. So 3 ends. Okay?
All right. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to inflate a little bit of air into the star point. Now with this one, you put a little bit more air because you need extra space. Now, I really hope you can see this. I'm not sure. So I'm taking the 260, knotted 260. I'm still going to place it in the valve. But this one, because the latex isn't smooth like the bead, it's going to get stuck. So you need to give it a little bit of assistance. Push it through with your balloon stick. Yeah.
The name of the beads and where we can buy it. So any sporting goods store, for us it was Canadian Tire, but because it's for an air gun, let's see here. The brand obviously wouldn't really matter. This one in particular, it just says biodegradable airsoft BBs, and they're 6 millimeter. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Ask away. All right, so now I'm going to be pushing the 260 through the valve. You have to make sure you keep catching it. once it gets past the valve, you're going to use this the same technique like you did with the pellets.
Yes.
So
So the only difference here is if you don't have any beads offhand or anything that you can use as to capture in the corner, we have balloons.
that's right.
So definitely making a raisin twist is another option.
Then, like I said, this one needs a little bit of extra assistance because it does stick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to do that again.
And all of this would be prepped in advance. I don't know if you said that already.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. So the important, any technique, obviously, use whatever you feel comfortable with. We're just showing you all the options and you go with whatever is comfortable to you. But all of this would be prepped, obviously, in advance in the shop. We can bring them on site. And the advantage is all you have to do is
Lay them
concentrate on, oh yes, true. Yeah.
Lay them flat, pile them on top of one another. It's not going to take a lot of room. You can make a
Yes.
massive wall and have it just like a stack of
Yes.
strap points.
And if you don't have a huge van, cargo van, or anything to deliver, and you need everything compact, then this is a good option because it's a lot of prep work in advance, but convenient once you bring it on site, and then you can inflate it on site.
Okay, so I pushed this down through, again, using the balloon stick with this one. You definitely need assistance with this one. It is going to grip onto the Mylar. So now I have the same thing where we have the knot, the 260, like the raisin twist, right at the tip of the start point. And we're going to tie it exactly the same way as we did the beads.
Mm-hmm. And having them right in the exact corners helps as a guide.
When you're tying them together.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now, let's knock everything over. So now that you have the beads on the ends of everything, not this one, I'm gonna keep this aside, that was just a demonstration. Now that you have the beads on the end of everything,
Yes.
when you inflate it, you kind of have like a stopper. So now each one of your start points are gonna sit the same way.
And it takes the strain off the start point itself as well. So good reason.
All right. And now we're going to inflate. Where's the other one we have? This side. Where's the third one?
Right here.
Is that the
That
one
one
that was
already.
inflated before?
Yep.
And nope, I need one more. Is it this one? Nope. Oh, maybe it's in here.
Right here. This one?
No, that's the one with the 260. Nope. Okay, so
there. We'll finish that one.
oh, we're gonna finish this one after all. I'll put beads inside this guy just for time's sake.
I have it ready. Oh, right here. Sorry. Yep.
She's the one that said
That was
she
my
was
fault.
organized.
I kicked it.
Uh-huh.
That was my fault.
Uh-huh.
I'll admit that one. Okay.
So now we're going to be making a third row, which is part of our wall, our next wall. I'm taking, tying. This to this. All right, so if you want to get that other piece.
Yeah.
Ever notice there's never enough workspace?
And look, it froze right like that.
Oh, great.
Are we back? Are we back? We broke, Derek. We broke the internet. Sorry. Sorry, Derek. Are we okay now?
Ladies, you should be fine now. You're back on.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
All right.
I can hear you. So, oh, we have one question. Can you only use a hand pump with the Mylar balloons? No.
No.
We mentioned that in the beginning. We're working smaller scale, so we're just using a hand pump for ease of even following at home. But definitely use an air inflator for sure, especially for large wall decors and everything like that.
Definitely a time saver. Everyone needs to invest in one if you don't have it already. We are strictly using a hand pump just for this, for the sake of when you are able to get some supplies. Even if you do want to do it at home, you can do it with just a hand pump on the smaller scale, just to play around with the designs and techniques.
So as we were saying, oh no, what happened here?
So with this technique,
How will we fix this?
because they aren't really connected to one another, they're each an individual pocket. So we can cut this start point off.
Yeah.
And tying the new one.
And so for ease of just tying it back in,
Now all this extra stuff, you would be cleaning it off,
yes,
taping it back, cutting all the extra 260s.
yes.
When you really plan it out, the top pieces you don't need in there at all, so you don't always need to put the beads in all 3 areas.
Right, so you'll be laying down your pattern initially, and obviously the bead will not have to go in this piece right here, the top one. Because you've got rows, so essentially what the pattern is, you've got a row of 2, a row of 3, a row of 2, a row of 3. Correct? Did I hold this right?
Yes. And then we have to add the 3 on the next one.
On the next one.
Which
So
is on your side.
my end right
We are
here.
going to do that.
Do you have them already attached? Yes, you do. We have the barcode facing back. Remember that. Facing back. And we're filling in the
Going
right.
against gravity.
Yeah.
You want to work on the table?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Perhaps. Just like that.
All right.
Just like that is good. Okay. All right. We're just wrapping it around. And I like knotting it twice. Or just tying it twice. For
So with
security.
this pattern, we're literally putting each start point into one another so that you have this teardrop shape,
Yes.
taper shape.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Yeah, I'm knotting it twice. We've got the other point there. And when adding on the embellishments in the corners, this also is an added bonus because you've got the 260 pieces already there if you have to attach anything. Getting ahead of myself.
Yes,
I'm excited. Sorry.
All right. I think Derek will appreciate that.
Yes.
He wants us to move this along. You guys have a great class ahead with him.
Yes. Can't wait to watch that as well right after. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Hold that, and I will grab the. Again, we would be attaching to the pole and bases. So you would line it up so that the pole doesn't show through the negative space. Are we doing that now, or are we attaching the?
No, let's tape them up
Yep.
just so we can hold it.
Okay. Right. Thank you. So again, trying to keep them as straight as possible against the poles. I'm just going to double check.
Trim this piece
Yep, this way.
just to flatten it out a little.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think we're going to run out of a little bit of space on this table again.
Yep.
And hold this one for me.
There you go.
All right. And the top. Now keep in mind, if we were doing this for an event, the poles would go right to the top.
Yes. So
We're
right
just
now
doing-
the poles end about here. Generally, we would add more pieces to the pole to make it tall enough to at least go to the center of the top star point.
We're just
And
mainly
attach it.
keeping everything in frame right now.
Correct.
So, do you want to explain the negative space
Here
on
we
this kind of?
go. I'm gonna pass it to you.
You want me to bring it closer and then you can tie it in?
Like,
Let's push it up.
no, it's better we could see it like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You're the tech one.
So, when filling in the negative space, because we can do that here now, again, when you're using the tapers, now on these, there's not so much a barcode, but there is just the write-up in the back. So we're gonna make that face the back.
Oh, and that's another thing. We were talking about sizing. So now with the 20-inch star points, you're using a 13-inch taper to match it. That's going to fill in your negative space perfectly.
Yes. So if you could see here, once we fill in, we're just gonna fill in one section here.
Go for it. I'll hold you tight.
Hold it. Yep. Okay. And again, on the tapers themselves, Alex has prepped the bead technique that she just showed earlier.
Right in the
Okay.
tip of the taper.
So I'll show you here. So right at the end of the taper itself, there is a bead that's locked in with the 260 tied underneath it. So that gives us a tying point on this as well. Okay. And we're just pulling the tabs to the back again. We would go back and clean this all up on the end. Okay. Got that?
Yeah.
Did you tie it in?
I'm doing it now.
Got it? Okay. So using the 260 pieces, if you notice, the valve has no 260 on the end of it, but because we have 260s on each time point, that is the benefit of using this technique, because the time points are all there for you, even if you don't have time points.
So we are going to move this wall aside for just a second, because those of you who aren't familiar, these 13-inch tapers need to be heat sealed. They are not self-sealing like the 20-inch star point is.
Correct.
And then on that note as well, this 20-inch size, should you want to float these, do not float on their own with helium. They're not helium, they're air fill only. Okay? So I'll move this aside.
Yeah, let's move this aside. We're just making it buckle a little bit, but you really want it in there snug so that it fits the design nicely. And before we put the last one in,
So I'm going to show you the heat sealing technique.
okay,
So we have the Premium Balloon Accessories Heat Sealer, which Sue Bowler used in her class as well. One we've had for a very long time. We absolutely love it. And there's so many different things you can do with heat sealing mylars, just to make different shapes and some other fun designs. The taper is here. Okay. So again, we're going to put a puff of air in this, just to get the bead in there. Another bead?
sure, please. I got it.
There we go. All right. Bead inside. This one doesn't have a valve, that's why you have to heat seal it. So, it goes straight to the tip. Tie it off.
Thank you guys. Thanks for the love. I'm catching some of them. I must have missed some, so I'm sorry.
So when you're heat sealing, you want to make sure you hold the pressure of the air into the Mylar. So with my thumb and my index finger, well, actually, I guess I'll tell you. I'm holding it really secure so there's absolutely no air coming out from here to here. This valve end is completely flat.
Yes.
My heat sealer is set on 3. That's what works for us. You can go up to 4. You just play around with the heat sealer that you have. But you don't want to overheat because then you'll melt it and rip it right off. So
there's a question, sorry.
sure.
Go ahead, you can do
Okay.
that, but is the sealer the only way you seal balloons?
No. So there are many irons you can use to seal the balloons as well. So I used it right at the tip. So again, I just want to show you. So the valve is right at the end of the valve that I'm heat sealing it. And you put it lower to the end of the valve. This way, should there be an error, you can cut this off as you're further down.
Oh, is the silver balloon different from the gold? Sorry, I just caught up to that question previous.
Sorry.
No. So the star points come in different colors. It's not a different type of balloon. The star point is just a different color.
Okay.
It's not a different kind of balloon. They're all called star points.
Yeah. So now you have the taper heat sealed and ready to go for the other piece of the wall.
Okay. Here. So that would be how you prep the tapers to fill in the negative space within the wall itself.
I'm going to do this.
Yep.
And you can tie that.
You got it?
Yep. You see where the 260s are? So working backwards is a little different.
Yes. Yes. So again, I'm just knotting the 260 through and tying it in the back, and I like to knot it twice.
Hold here.
Yep. And then with the valve, we'll put it back in the back.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Woo!
that's one way to fill the space in this type of design.
So now you can continue this throughout the entire wall and fill it in. So we'll have this pattern throughout. You can also consider filling in the negative space in a zigzag formation, changing the colors, perhaps one zigzag one color, one zigzag another. So if you can imagine the negative positive space as almost like a canvas to work off of.
So on that point, with the colors, if you did want to change the colors to a zigzag pattern or any other type of pattern, because the tapers only come in the 3 colors, the rose gold, the silver, and the gold, you may feel like you're limited, but you're not. So we could definitely inflate a taper with a latex balloon on it to change the color. Now, if we have time at the end, we will show you that to demonstrate. If we don't, you can watch us on Instagram. We'll set up a video at some point doing that for all of you, okay?
There's about 15 minutes left.
Yeah,
I
not
think.
bad. Well, we still have to show the other stuff though.
Okay.
Okay, so if you wanted to keep this space open and you don't want the joints showing at all, you can put fun stuff in here. So you can keep it really simple
Yes.
and just put, you want to
Have
have
it
it
there.
please?
Go ahead.
We just have a simple duplet. This is with the chrome silver to match the
Yep.
silver Mylar.
You put this
It
one here.
matches perfectly.
You want it or
yeah,
you want
sure.
it? Or anywhere.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
As long as you show us.
I can't see from this side.
Okay.
Hang on. There we go.
All
Am I
right.
in?
So she's tying that one in, but that's only because we have a taper there that's in her way.
Oh, sorry. I'll move it.
That's okay. It's
I'll
fine.
move it there.
Yeah.
Put it
So
wrong.
now I'll reach over for this one while
Yeah.
she's tying that in. And what you do is take your doublet, put it into the negative space, take it through the 4, so the entire joint, wrap it one behind,
Yep.
one in front, and then you have it locked into place.
Yes. So 2 methods. So for this one, if by chance we have the tapers here, so it's tilting one way, but that's because there's no tapers in the other sides. So what order would you do this in? So I would
tie
say,
in.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tapers first, then tie in your accent pieces if you wanted to still add it even when it had the tapers in there.
Correct.
Okay. So now if you want to finish these guys.
Oh, there was a question, sorry. If you just tie it, you risk losing air as it isn't kind of a seal.
Is that
I'm
for
not
the heat
sure.
sealing? Should I show the heat
I
sealing
think
again?
that might have been the heat sealing. I don't know if
Thumbs up. Should I show the heat sealing again? Maybe I went too quickly with that.
yeah, so basically you do have to heat seal these. If you just pump air and tie it, you will risk losing the air.
You will. It
Yeah.
is possible though. With a 260, you can do it without heat sealing. I've done it if we were really stuck in a pinch. But to be safe, the best way is to heat seal them.
Okay. And again, we're kind of buckling on the table here, so I apologize. This would normally sit nice and straight, sort of hitting it against my laptop. So we have some size questions here.
Okay.
What size do you recommend for the small latex silver balloons?
Oh,
So
okay.
those are the chrome silver.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this is the chrome silver.
These
So
ones.
for this one in particular, I'll actually pull one out. What I did was, where did I put that? No.
And they be reused after sealing. Okay, so that's yes,
Yes.
definitely. And what size?
And you can actually seal them well in advance because they're going to last a very, very long time. Can we move this wall out? Is
Yeah.
it okay if we move this wall out of the way?
Yeah.
All right.
Move the wall.
We can bring it back. So to answer the question of the sizing, for that particular size, you don't want that duplicate to be really overpowering in that joint. It's more of just an accent if you want a touch of a color. You don't have to match silver to silver. It can be whatever the color scheme is of the event. So for that, we used the 7-inch just because we wanted to match it. We used the 7-inch chrome silver. And we basically just did one pump. Now, when you're pumping it, just to keep that shine, make sure you take the entire neck all the way up to almost the tip of the balloon. You want to hold that in there, and that's going to also hold its shape and help you hold the air in there. If I had it just out here, I would do this, and then it would be a different size. As opposed to holding it all the way, one pump, nice and round, it's shiny. I'm giving it a twist to lock it in there. And then I'm tying off the balloon.
Okay, and then what size tapers for the 40-inch star points we have? That
So for the
question?
40 inch is a
I'll show.
27-inch.
Yeah.
So in the catalog,
Add it right here.
we have the 27-inch size. There's also a jumbo 30-inch size, but for the 40-inch size,
Yeah.
the 27 inches
Show
what
you
fits.
again. So we have them there. So there's 13-inch, 27-inch, and 38-inch. Those are the three. Oh, I hope I'm holding that right there.
And
Sizes.
for helium,
There we go.
for the tapers, because we do them often for New Year's Eve, just as beautiful arrangements, just strictly tapers, the 38-inch size is the helium size for those as well.
So that is in the Qualtex catalog.
All right. So that's
Yes.
that size. Now, should I show the heat sealing again? What did it?
Oh, sorry, let me double check that. Good job. If you seal it close to the end near the hole, you can cut above the seal and reuse the balloon and seal it up again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that answered it.
Release ample microphones.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
So we're good?
Yep. I
All
think
right.
we're okay. Thumbs up if we're all good. Any other questions? No, I think we're okay.
All good? Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I can show the
And we've got about 10 minutes, I guess.
10 minutes. So do you want to continue? Should I show the latex? All right.
Yeah, let's do that quickly.
Okay, so if you do want to cover,
Where did we put the,
Yeah.
and then we will do our big reveal.
where did we put that? So what do you need? The black 11. Oh no, I put it in. You got it right there. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
So we have them organized in the bins. We did.
Logically, it's in the bin. We're ready to go. All right. So this is now to change the color of the taper, should you need to change it in the design. So we're gonna just stretch out.
Sorry, one more question. Can you heat seal a balloon by dragging it through the sealer?
Yes, actually, I do it that way, just for a little bit extra security. You know what? I'll go through that method again. Maybe the camera wasn't far back enough. I'm gonna do that. So I'm just gonna heat seal again quickly, just to show you all again. Can you see the heat sealer like that? Think so? Yeah. Looks like, wait. No. I think that. So I'm not gonna put the bead in this. It's just simply to show you guys the heat sealing technique.
Yeah.
So I'm pumping it all the way. So you got all full air in there, and I'm holding it so that the pressure stays there. Now I'm also, wow, it's different when you do it slowly.
See?
So now the pressure, I'm holding it really tight so that there's absolutely no air left here.
Yes.
Okay. Have the heat sealer onto 3, like
Yep.
we said.
We have number 3.
I'm going to be heat sealing just above the hole, right about here. Just so that, like I said, in case there is some kind of leak or something, you can cut it off and try again. So, I'm putting it down, and what I do, I know everyone does this differently, but for me, I press it down, the light's already off, but I just slide it through just a little bit. So if you can see, the part where I've heat sealed now is about 1/4 of an inch of a seal. I don't know if everybody can see, maybe show them.
Yep.
Just in case. So you can see.
There we go. Hopefully that's clear enough. Okay.
All right. Now, so to cover this, we could go really crazy. Just shove it right in. It's an option.
Violent.
So, if you stretch this open enough, and you're strong enough, yes.
Sorry, there was just a point here about the printed catalog. Go to the Qualitex website.
Right.
See the current catalog. Correct. Yeah.
If you're strong enough, you can do your best to try it the other
I
way.
know. It's like the valve is on that side. Why are you passing it to me this way?
Sorry. Really push it through, and then it's like a really tight pair of panties. No, that's not gonna work.
But it's
just a joke.
It's difficult.
So what you're
So-
gonna do now is put the paper
I'm just holding it like this. I'm not like giving it a big twist or anything like that.
into the balloon. Going right to the neck.
Keep going. Got it?
Yep. Okay.
I won't let go.
And then you're going to inflate the taper.
Oh, size of the latex. We have a
This is the
question.
11 inch.
11 inch. This is just standard black.
So now I kept it out because you still need to heat seal this. So it's inflated. Now Me doing this slowly is a little bit different, so I'm gonna add some more air to this. Yeah, let's do this again. It's difficult to do it slow motion. So I'm inflating it the same way I did previously. Okay. Hold it. Keep. Push the air up. Push the air up. Make sure there's absolutely no air left in this valve again. Your heat sealing, again, same thing, press for me, pull, but some people just do it once. Okay, so press and pull. Okay, and again, there's something happening there. All right, got it. So now it's locked into place. Now we have a black accent for your start point well. Yay! All right. So, for an exciting moment, is there something else?
No,
Well, let's see if there's any other questions first.
Oh yeah,
before we
let's
get to
double
that.
check that.
Yes. All right.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So we have our big reveal now. We just want to remind you all these techniques. Not one is more, preferred over the other. These are all just techniques for you to try out different techniques and using
Let's show them.
patterns. Okay, so we have a big reveal. Our big reveal.
So,
Because we were working so small scale, we had to surprise you with something lovely at the end, of course, and gigantic. So, here we go. Okay, one moment. Let's see if we get this done right.
it's a technical thing. It's all Ellie if it goes wrong.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Ta-da!
Wow.
Look
Look
at
at
that.
that.
Ta-da!
That's fantastic.
So here's our.
Printed 3-footers.
Wow. See, we thought when you said big
Thank
reveal,
you, everyone.
you meant to, you wanted us to show that other photograph. It was
You did miss Cube, didn't you?
no.
So one
You-
last thing we just want to reiterate, as we were mentioning earlier, here you have your start point wall, and as we all know, organics are super hot right now. So we just added an embellishment to one side
Just to show
as an
you.
example of how you can incorporate them together, and why not?
Thank you, everyone, so much. We had
Thank
so
you
much
so
fun.
much.
Thank you for having us. Enjoy
Stay
the rest
there.
of the
We're coming
convention.
into the studio.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere until you've been back in the studio. See, you've been magically teleported all the way to the UK.
Wow.
So, ladies, are you going to jump on the chat afterwards? Yes.
Yes. We
Yes.
will.
Well, you
Yes.
do need to, because I think you need to explain to people why you made us suggested that we put the giant picture of a ketchup bottle on there.
It's because you were playing ketchup. Guys, on everybody in the chat, can you show some big love to Alex and
Thank you,
Ellie?
everyone.
So much.
Hashtag we broke the internet.
Twice.
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 Yeah, we've already just been speaking with Derek. He's not impressed. I think there's going to be words later.
He never is with us.
Right. Okay. Well,
Thank
thank
you
you very
so
much,
much.
ladies. Okay, we'll see you again.
Thank you.
Well
Bye for
done.
now.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye for now.